welcome to Larpgasm. If you're continuing from part 1 of this video, then please enjoy the exciting conclusion. If you're just now joining us, then please partake in part 1 so you can get caught up to speed. So for this next trap, I decided to move things outside. You're going to need some sort of powder, cocaine, flour, whatever. I'm actually using baby formula. You're going to need a balloon and a balloon pump if you have one. If you don't have one, I suggest getting one. Also, a little funnel would be nice. If you buy the water balloons that come with them, if you don't have one, cut a pop bottle. Alright, once you have the balloon set up on the funnel or pop bottle top that you may have turned into a funnel, then you're going to go ahead and pour in, as much powder basically as the balloon will let you get inside. It may be a little, it may be a lot. You can use salt, you can use sugar. I would use something that doesn't clump and flows nicely. This seems to be working okay. Alright, and you can see we got in my opinion, a fair amount of powder in there. So, the next step will be to put our balloon pump on and then simply inflate it. So, you can see the stuff inside there maybe. From there, we're going to put it inside the box. Now when you put it in the box, you're going to want to close the lid, but make sure that this stays nice and tight. If it doesn't stay tight, then you're going to need to arrange it perhaps a little differently. But the idea is when that box closes, it's an airtight seal. And then once your unsuspecting rogue comes along, picks the lock and opens the box, well, and you get dust everywhere. Now, not a ton of dust is going to come out of that, but enough will come out that it's very clear they've been poisoned, and that's the whole idea. So it's a very cool trap. Pro tip, if you want a PC to actually literally kill you, stab you to death in a parking lot, fill the balloon with glitter, point it directly at them, let them enjoy. So Max, how the heck would a rogue disarm this trap? Well, there's still a bit of powder in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just reset it for us. Now, ideally, and you cut this off with a razor so it's nice and flush, but if a rogue comes along and sees this, they can just pinch it shut. If they see that, then they could just simply redirect the box away from them and then just gradually open it to let the air out. But basically, if you're a good rogue, you're going to be opening the box slowly anyhow. So if you open it real slow, and just sort of let the air escape, then you will effectively disarm this style of trap, leaving all the poison still inside of the balloon. So basically, to disarm this trap, you're just going to go really, really slow. And that's pretty much it. But it's a heck of a trap. If you can get the balloon to stay airtight, you're golden. But these usually have a very limited lifespan. I would suggest setting this up immediately before you give it to your player. If you let it sit for maybe more than 10-15 minutes, the balloon's probably going to deflate and the trap's not going to work. So you may not be able to put that in there with a lot of other traps, or if you do, it's going to have to go in at the last minute. And when they work, they're a blast. Fill them with water if you want to, but the powdered stuff usually works better. And plus, if they're wearing all black like I am, and you get this stuff all over you, there's no denying that you're poisoned. Here's another simple trap you can try. Although the mechanism used is very complex, its execution is quite simple. Basically, your rogue's going to come along, they're going to open this box, and music. Now the music may put them to sleep with some sort of lullaby. It may cause them damage. It may just alert the other people in the room. It may alert someone who's sleeping. But whatever it does, you know, it's a bad thing because it's giving away the rogue's position. Now, how does this work? It's very simple. Get yourself a music box. Take this part out of it. Sometimes picture frames have them. You can buy these just by themselves. But basically there's a little spinning wheel on top of it. And when that little wheel isn't spinning, then there's no music. On the box, you're going to see that there's just a nail hammered into the top of the box. What that does is that nail comes down on that little metal flap and shuts it off. So it's pre-wound. When that nail hits it, done. So as soon as that rogue comes along and opens the box, so how do I disarm this trap? Well, it should be pretty simple. Once you know what you're dealing with, it should just be a matter of stopping that little spinning mechanism. Now, if you've never seen it before, well, you know, this might be one of those times where you get blown up. But if you take some time to study it, if you've ever seen one of these devices before, then you should know all you have to do is stop that little flywheel from spinning. Now, if you have a tensioner or a pick already in your hands, once you get the box open a little bit, before that thing starts spinning, you should be able to just reach in there and essentially just take the place of the nail. Now, once your pick is in there, you can just leave it there, gather your treasure. That's pretty much it. When you're all done, you pull your pick out, close the box back up, and the trap is never sprung. As far as the mechanism itself, you can glue it in the box. If it has a screw hole, you can screw it in to the box, whatever you want to do with it. But, you know, it's an interesting way to make a trap. It's very simple. It requires one nail and this mechanism. And that's pretty much it. This in conjunction with a few other traps, you know, the rogue's gonna have a hard time. But basically, that's all you need to do. Disarmed. Rearmed. I think you get the point. So definitely this is one to try. Get an old music box from somewhere. Get a picture frame that has one of these in. I actually took this one out of a picture frame. It has screw holes to mount it. So you can mount it. It doesn't have to be mounted the way that I did, although that is the easiest way to mount it, and it's going to be the easiest way for your rogue to disarm. If you want to be a real jerk, you know, mount it a different way on a different angle. They're going to need to look in there to see how this works and try to stop that little wheel from spinning. Not all music boxes work that way, but the vast majority of them do. So if you want to use something like this, it's a fun little twist, aside from shoving mouse traps and marbles and stuff in the box. It's a little bit more complex, and I think it's a little bit more fun. Especially if you're in a room full of sleeping guards, you're trying to open this box in that room, and boom, cue the music. As always, adventure on. So I happened across this mine here, and I'm going to go in and check it out. I'm going to see how to maybe properly explore a mine and how maybe not to properly explore a mine. I'm all by myself. I'm going to go exploring here. So first thing to come up on is this door. No lock, lucky me. Great. What was that noise? Nothing. We found a hide chest in the woods was a little bit too difficult because people would forget them and then 5 years later find them. Nothing like giving away your position. Don't do that in dungeon, ever. So anyways, that's the end of this little mine adventure.